Hey there and welcome back to the channel. So, I'm a big fan of science fiction. I love Doctor Who, arguably too much, and I'm a big fan of Star Trek the original series too. Up until very recently, I didn't really know what Stargate was, other than it being a TV series. I wasn't even aware that there was an original movie which acts like a spiritual pilot for everything to come. But my partner and her family are a big fan of the franchise, so I watched it, and for the most part, I did enjoy it. I think the overall theme of the movie is just exploration, the way any other larger-than-life science fiction series would be, which when trying to establish a larger franchise is a must-have, and I think it was done really well, as I would call the world building and setup here better than the actual story. If I were to describe the tone, I would say historiographic metafiction with cheesy science fiction elements. It's like an Indiana Jones plot setting, with the themes akin to classic Doctor Who, and Star Wars elements mixed in for good measure, which I don't think is a bad thing. The biggest letdown is just the limitations of the visual and physical effects of the 90s. It really hasn't aged well. Despite this, the longevity of the TV series proves it can stand on its own 2 feet. So, in terms of the plot and the setup, an ancient race ascend on Earth through a portal during the ancient Egyptian era and influence all of Earth's history and culture from that point onwards, even abducting some of the humans and forcing them into slavery on another planet. Which is an interesting basis for a science fiction villain, and a lot more unique for central antagonists than say the Daleks in Who, which took major inspiration from the Nazis. So one of these aliens stole the body of a human boy and led the invasion on Earth via a Stargate. After rediscovering the Stargate centuries later, a team led by the 2 central characters explore the land, with Colonel Jack's personal mission of blowing the Stargate to prevent any more alien intrusions on Earth, alongside the basic plot elements surrounding possible invasion. There is a lot of references to ancient Egyptian gods who play a role in the formation of the movie. I think the plot itself is fine. It's essentially what I expected. I think it just stretches out too much. They could easily trim half an hour of the runtime in the middle, especially as it felt like it took an hour for the audience to even see the aliens. And with that, the plot becomes a bit confused and messy, as by the end, Ra was going to use Colonel Jack's bomb to blow up the Earth via the portal. In my opinion, the best part of this movie was the 2 lead characters, Dr. Daniel Jackson, who is played by the incredibly talented James Spader. Daniel is a disgraced historian specialising in ancient Egypt, whom nobody will take seriously. He is tasked by the government on a secret project and basically deciphers the portal that they dub the Stargate. Out of the 2, he is pushed more as the primary protagonist, and to some degree the audience surrogate, as he happily explores the new planet. I think he has a good dynamic with Colonel Jack, and apparently has more development across the TV series. Colonel Jack is just seeing this as a suicide mission. With the loss of his son, he really doesn't have anything to live for. While less fleshed out than Daniel, I feel like the natural chemistry Spader and Russell have carries a lot of the padded waffle in the middle. It's a shame it isn't the pair of them in the TV series as well, as I think they're very good together. While I do think the story confuses itself and is too long overall, I did enjoy the movie for what it was. I think if you look at this as a spiritual pilot figuring out what the TV series will inevitably be, then it did a good job. The concept and lore behind the portal acts as a good basis for future plots and allows more planets and races to be introduced over time. The world building is some of the best I have seen and clearly sets up a much bigger universe, and the location filming used was solid. If you're looking for some fun, easy watching science fiction, then this is for you. I am now looking forward to watching the TV series. If you like what you saw, could you please hit that like button and subscribe? It will help my channel continue to grow. Stay close as I try to post new content as often as possible.